First things first, it was amazing to have my girlfriend come into town and spend some time with me, a couple of days. She was here for 4 days, no, almost, yeah, 4 days. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So we first day went to London because I had to do the Banting house in the morning. We went to London, found didn't look the greatest. It was a nice little motel though. Didn't look really greatest when you showed up, but it was worth the money. But we were sitting there that night, and boom, thunder, lightning, power goes out. No power. So we just did with our phones, and I put my headlamp on high and pretty much brightened the whole room up, so it wasn't too bad. But our first night on our first vacation, real vacation together, and boom, power's out. Went for supper that night. It was really good. Best burger I think I've ever had. And then we went back and kind of just crashed. Long day for her. She worked the night before, then flew, then picked me up, then went for dinner, and she crashed about 8:30. I kind of just watched some stuff on my phone. Then next morning, we got up and went to Banting House, the birthplace of insulin. And then after that, we drove to Niagara Falls and went to, and I'll talk about the Banting here in a minute. I just wanted to straighten away the weekend. Then we went over to Niagara Falls, found our hotel, the Ramada. No. Never stay in the Ramada in Niagara Falls. Never. Ever. No. Just don't. It's a shitty place. Pay the money for a better place, or go with a cheaper place. They're going to be better anyway. So, got there. At least we could have a swim. That was nice. But as I said before, no Wi-Fi, no cable. Paid for parking that was supposed to be free. And then when everything said and done, they gave us $9 back. Yay. Cost us $20 for parking. Their answer was, well, it's complimentary. Free Wi-Fi is complimentary. No, it's just the standard around everywhere now. If you say that you have it, I shouldn't have to walk around looking for it. Same as if you say you have cable, I shouldn't have to play on my phone to watch TV. It's just, I shouldn't. But we relaxed that night, had a swim, got up the next day, went to Marineland, childhood's dreams realized. It's kind of disappointing. Not as many sea animals as I would originally anticipated. I was thinking some turtles and some fish and more than one large fish. All they had was one blackfish, one orca, a bunch of belugas, lots of belugas, about 4 dolphins, and a walrus. And they had almost as much land animals as they did sea animals. Who'd have thought, right? But we went to Marineland and rode some rides, had some fun. It was nice to just have some fun, just for me, just to have some fun. But yeah, so then after that, we went and walked around the falls and saw some sights and enjoyed ourselves. There's a lot to do there. A lot to do there. I wouldn't even attempt to do most of it. It's just a lot to do. But it was nice. And we went back to the hotel and found a night at the Blue Moon Motel, which was way better than the Ramada. Then just chilled there all night and just relaxed, had another swim, chilled out, enjoyed ourselves. And then next morning, drove into Toronto, Brampton, and went and did some running around, got some groceries, got those things, and went back to the hotel, same thing, had a swim, just relaxed, spent time together. It was great. I really enjoyed being with her. After 5.5 months, it's hard. And now I won't see her again for another 2. Yeah, it was a really good weekend with her. I missed her a lot, and she made it something really special. It was good. But then I had to get on the road day before yesterday. So we're back on the road, back on the trail. But let me dive into the Banting. Banting was Franklin Banting was awesome. There's no other words. That guy was Canadian as fuck. He was a World War I hero. He was a military man. He was a doctor, a practical physician. He discovered insulin. It was amazing. He was a painter. He did some sculpt work. He did lots of advances in the military. Worked on many projects for the Canadian military. Helped developing the ideas for G suits and decompression chambers and all these other things that he was known for aside from insulin. But insulin was the biggest thing for the world at the time. It stopped people from dying a lot of the time. The first known writings of diabetes was 3,000 years ago or more. I don't remember the exact number. And then it just kind of stayed the way it was. And then Banting came along and was doing a lecture on medical in a medical university that he didn't really have any knowledge of. So he was reading a medical journal on diabetes, and kind of just things kind of bounced around in his head, and he woke up in the middle of the night and had figured out how to treat diabetes. It took him a long time to get there, and lots of help from other people and people who knew other fields and those type of things. And then there was war, and so then after the creation and it coming to life, It took 80 years after they figured it out for that house, what he did and stuff, to become a Canadian historical site. Even though he was a Nobel Prize winner for his work in the field, he had worked so hard for it, and he only lived in that house for 10 years, or for 10 months, sorry. But yeah, it took us a long time to recognize how big a deal that was. Kind of strange. But all the other things he was known for is what's the interesting part, is nobody really knows all these side things, right? Nobody really knows all these things. So yeah, it was just a very, very awesome experience to go to the Banting house. It was just awesome. The curator there gave us the full tour and talked to us a lot, but it was very informative, very interesting, and to hear how much ups and downs it took for him to realize a goal. It wasn't like he set out to do it either, right? Like, it was just something that he stumbled upon, and then as a good Canadian, he kept at it until he got it. Kept at it till it happened. Kind of inspiring to me. Just keep at it until it happens, right? You just keep working at it. Now, what I'm doing is nowhere near as important as what he did. But I think that it's time for us to follow his path, take on his shoes, and get it done, right? Just take it over the finish line. I'm sure that we're close enough to figuring it out that it just needs to, the time and effort just needs to be put into it. There's somebody out there who has the idea. It's just we need to be able to put it into place, and without helping and without donating and all that other, getting the word out there, getting people talking about it, asking more questions about why we haven't come up with anything since. Because yes, we've come a long way in how to administer and track your insulin and your blood sugars and all those other things, right? The technology to do that has come a long way, but the actual treatment itself hasn't gone anywhere. Slight changes, better insulin, those type of things. But as for what we're using as a treatment, doesn't cut it the mustard anymore. Something else needs to happen. So I'm trying to do my best to help out in the best way I can, and get the information out there and get the word talking, and trying to show that, just a regular guy trying to do something amazing for a bunch of other people is sometimes all it takes, right? Look at Banting himself. He wasn't out to make it happen. It just kind of happened. Just a regular guy trying to make something great happen. So he inspired me to keep going. So I just I want everybody to just help us out, help diabetes out, help whoever with diabetes out, right? If we can find a cure, we fix a bunch of problems. Mental health, that's majorly affected by diabetes. That's just a fact. Diabetes can cause way more medical issues, all of the, you have to be careful about everything, all your organs. So just trying to get it out there. But it was an amazing week, really. Met the Partington family. Awesome. Girlfriend came into town. Fantastic. Went to the Banting house. That was interesting and cool. Went to Marineland. Niagara Falls. Was in Toronto. Walked in Lake Ontario. Yeah, so it was just an amazing week. Like that was just it. Just an amazing week. So I think that's all I gotta say right now. But yeah, check me out on Facebook. Check me out on Instagram, Wandering Viking. Go to the GoFundMe page. Help out, $5, $5, $5. More than enough. I just like to. We're a quarter of the way there and almost halfway in the country, so just need to get a little bit more happening. I appreciate everything we've done so far, but let's get it over that hump. Let's keep it going. So I'll talk to you guys later.